The first thing I want to say about this video is that this is a very, very sad situation that this woman finds herself in, and any other woman in this particular situation. We are going to get into the analysis of the video and of course get lessons that we should learn and we should pick to do better in. It doesn't stop the fact that this particular situation is a sad one, no matter what everybody is saying on social media. Welcome to Sage Nell TV. My name is Sage Nell. I'm a professional and certified counselor, teacher, and a radio and TV talk show host. On this channel, we analyze life issues and relationship and use counseling and teaching as a tool to help you take steps to actually do better. The story we are taking today is about a woman who discovered that her bridesmaid had been sleeping with her husband-to-be. And I will just read the story briefly. A video 7 rounds on social media captured by the moment a bride on the way to her church wedding caused a scene on an expressway after she found out that her husband-to-be cheated. According to the reports, the groom had been cheating on her with her chief bridesmaid, and the bride discovered as they were heading to the church for the wedding. In the viral video, the bride stopped the car on the major road and confronted the bridesmaid for sleeping with her lover. The bride lunged at the bridesmaid with rage and could be heard saying, "How could you do me like that?" and so on and so forth. You know, the best man could also be heard sharing his own thoughts as well. And watching that video is not, I know that, yeah, many people are critical of it, and we'll talk about lessons. That's why we are here. But it wasn't a very pleasant sight. Everybody screaming on each other, you know, shouting, just a lot of anger, just a lot of sadness. And here are the things that we should learn from this video. One thing I want to say before I go into the lessons and the points is that whenever things like this happen in our culture, in our land, in our nation, or worldwide, let's not be quick to only pick out the gist and quickly run with it. That's what a lot of people do. What's the gist? What's the juice? Let's also be patient, and let's also be calm and quiet to also be able to say, there's something here I should be able to pick to do better for my own life, or my daughter should be able to pick, or my son or my sister, whatever the case may be. Now, if you go back to the history, and I do hope that the bride involved also comes out to share her own part of the story, and if she does that, you can be rest assured that we will do a follow-up on this in this channel. Now, anytime there are gaps like this, husband to be cheating, bridesmaid, whatever the case may be, wherever it is, whenever people find themselves in such situation, there are usually signs and flags that have been shown along the way, but these particular people ignored. And let me be very specific. Let's say a bride, for instance. So there would definitely have been red flags that this particular bride would have seen concerning this man that she was about to get married to, but she was just trying to patch it up and manage him. Okay, and these red flags, when it happens, let's say you can't demand treat, like, again, I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm saying from my experience as a counselor, working with women, single mothers, women that are about to be divorced, and even women that have been divorced. These are patterns that we've seen over and over again, and you know, the story is almost always the same. Now, there would have been habits, patterns that this particular bride would have seen in this man. I do not know their history until she comes out to talk. We do not really know. But then, would have ignored. And now, it now turns out that in ignoring that, somehow, it came back to be that the man with his character finally finally got together with her bridesmaid. We don't know if it's the best friend. It just says bridesmaid. We don't know whether it's best friend, sister, cousin. A bridesmaid must not be your best friend. But anyways, the bridesmaid, which should usually somebody close to her, and now every she finds out and she doesn't want to take it again. We don't even know if they still went ahead to get married. The truth is, this story is not complete, but we are just speaking from the one that we know. What can we learn from this? Many times people just feel like, oh, relationship education, counseling, premarital counseling, or yeah, that relationship education, premarital counseling, primarily, and more importantly, involving God in your relationship, is something that we should just throw by the wayside. Especially when it comes to relationship education, it's not important. Of course, you will watch the latest blockbuster in the cinema, but you don't want to invest in 2 books to try to get better in knowing signs, of a cheating partner, getting better, understanding yourself, self-discovery, and so on and so forth. When I talk about relationship education, it is huge, it is broad, it is beyond just 2 steps to catching your man. 17 steps to hooking him down. Is beyond that. When you hook him down, how are you going to sustain the relationship to something that will lead to a peaceful marriage? Because the goal is not just to be married, the goal is to be peacefully married and fulfilled in the marriage. Because after you get married, life is going to go on. Many people miss these points and just want to hustle into marriage, and then they get a lot of drama. When I say hustle into marriage, they're in a relationship that they know is not working, they need help. It's just like if a person is not feeling fine, you go to the hospital. Nobody's going to look at you in the hospital and be like, you're not feeling fine, or start discriminating. And if they discriminate you, the joke is on them, because you have taken the step to actually go to the hospital to get better, so you don't get worse and you don't die. It's the same thing it should be in every other aspect, whether it's our financial life, our spiritual life. Now relationships specifically is what we're talking about. When people see things in their relationship and signs that is pointing towards something that is going to lead to the deaths. And when I mean death, some people, it's not, sometimes you don't even physically die, but there's a lot of things that can happen with you. Some people can even emotionally die just because of a breakup. There are just a lot of things that can happen with you when you get it wrong, especially in a marriage. And these things you can avoid if you decide to put in a health check in your relationship. It is not being weak to to see that there's something wrong in your relationship and choosing to seek help. Now, if you're with a man that is saying, oh, I don't care, please leave me alone, sister, you're already in a lot of trouble, because he's not going to be willing to move forward. He's not going to be willing to troubleshoot for future problems or future challenges. So what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that? Don't just say, oh, don't worry. And something happened, let's say he cheated, or something, or you found out he was texting someone in a very inappropriate way. And you're like, look, I'm not going to continue with this relationship. We have to go and see a counselor. And he starts saying, oh, I don't care, please leave me, I've changed. Look, you don't know somebody has changed because they said it. The best form of change is asking for forgiveness, and even change is change behavior. And you see, for a person who already has a pattern or a certain conditioning regarding how he should treat women, he needs a reorientation and reconditioning to actually change and make that upgrade in his life that he needs to make your relationship and marriage work. There are a lot of things that I have to share, but this is one key important thing that I believe that would be very useful for you and for us all from what we've learned from this particular video. You see, this one that came out is because the woman even decided to talk, and I must give her kudos for still choosing to say she's not doing according to what she was saying in the video. Okay, according to what she was saying in the video, you would see that she's saying things like, oh, I'm not doing again. I'm not doing again. And here's the video for you to see a glimpse of what was happening and what has been going around on social media. Okay, so we see that I give this woman, I kudos to her in the fact that, of course, there are a lot of things that she would have gotten wrong, but the fact that she still said, hey, I'm going to cut it off before it gets worse. Congratulations. So I don't know if they have done the, okay, it says on the way to church, but they most likely have done the court wedding, so they still need to work some things out behind the scene. But basically, the fact that she can come out and she was not ashamed to say, hey, I'm going to call it off. Some women would have still managed to go to church and start patching up the marriage. But you see, the man is already cheating with the chief bridesmaid. If today is with the chief bridesmaid, tomorrow is going to be with the mother or with the sister until it changes. But then you have, as the woman, you have the power to tell a man, no, I'm not moving on with this. I'm not managing. If you don't do this, if we're not going to see a counselor, if we do not enroll on a one-year relationship education program, if we do not come into the mentorship of someone that has a healthy and a growing marriage rooted in God, there are a lot of things that you can do and you should put in place before choosing to go ahead with someone. Because what gain is it being in a marriage that is not peaceful? It is better to be single. Okay? So I would conclude with this. I'll conclude with this particular point. It is important that we think about the decisions that we want to make every day that we wake up, every day that we open our eyes and we see the sky, because not everybody is privileged to wake up or has been privileged to wake up like you and I today. So when we wake up, we should be grateful, we should be thankful, and we should show our gratitude with that day by doing the right things and investing in the right decisions. If there's something that you've done wrong, ask for God for forgiveness, and then change your behavior to do rightly. If there's something you are noticing, instead of being fearful, there are a lot of lessons, or it may be in the 60s, we can say in the when I 1600s, we can say, oh, we are not aware, oh, this is not how it used to be, we don't know. But this is 2021 at the recording of this video. So many lessons and so many eye-opening things that we can learn from to say, hey, I have to do better. But I want to also encourage you not to do that from a place of fear, but from a place of courage and from a place of truth as well. Okay, so drop your comments. Let me know what you think about this video as well. And should there be another topic that I may have missed that you know that I must talk about, of course, feel free to send me a DM on any of my social media platforms and we would take it up from there. All right, my name is Sejinong Nkechi Manelayode, and it has been a pleasure working, just spending time with you. I look forward to doing this in more and more videos. Okay, please do well to check the description below the video. We have important information for you there. Did you enjoy this video and are you looking forward to more content like this? Then this is the best time to subscribe and also share with a friend as well. In doing that, you are helping them learn a lesson that you may not otherwise have been able to communicate in this particular manner, and that will help to provide a great harvest and better results from the decision they are going to take today as a result of them watching this particular video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.